Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning into The Medium by Design. Today I want to do something different on my YouTube channel. I am an astrologer and have been teaching and doing astrology charts again for 30 years. I have this from past lives. It's great wisdom to call on when we need another language, another insight. So today, December 1st, Wednesday, December 1st, 2021, Neptune went direct, and since Neptune is a very important part of my own personal chart, I thought it would be fun to do an astrological class, insightful thing that I could share with you guys, since this was a significant thing that came up for me. So here's a chart of, this is just a basic equal house chart with zero, starting at 0 Aries, 0 Taurus, and it's 0 all the way around. This is the natural zodiac with where the planets are right now as of December 1st, 2021. So Neptune is over in the subconscious area, which is the 12th house. And just so we know, these are the houses. So it just went direct at 20 degrees. Now Neptune has been traveling very slowly through its natural sign of Pisces, which we need to know. That's very important. Because whenever a planet goes into its natural sign, that's when it really wants to express itself fully. Now, having Neptune in Pisces is helping the spiritual community, the intuitives, the creatives, the artists, those people who are finding their next level of creativity are being affected by Neptune. It's the intuition, it's the connection to the cosmos, to the spiritual realm. So for a medium, somebody like me who's had a very, very, very spiritual, divine, interconnected life, Neptune's a very important planet. Now, it went into Pisces April 2011. So it's over 10 years it's been in that sign. It doesn't go into Aries, the next sign, until April 2025. So we've got a few more years, 2.5 years or so, before it gets into the next sign. So it's a long, slow-moving planet. It's given us a lot of time, 14 years total, to understand our spiritual side and get more connected on the spiritual, creative side of our lives while we're living, right? So it's been retrograde since June of 2021. So for those of us that are creative, I felt a definite pullback of creative flow. I was involved with that beautiful job with my friend Heather, and yes, it came out absolutely fabulous. But with that Neptune retrograde, it was feeling like a constant Mercury retrograde. It was very challenging for me because I had all the vision of where I wanted to go, and that vision had to be changed constantly and adjusted and fixed, and dealing with companies and supply things, and the bigger picture in the world. I'm not going to do that in this video too much. But this is very important for us because the collective subconscious has been mulling over the past since the summer and rehashing and living out and going through all old agendas and old priorities and old things for the half, for a big part of this year, half of this year. So having it go direct now should help us bring those new visions that we have into the physical reality and get to our next level. Okay, so that's very, very important. And as I said, we have until April 2025. Now, for what you can do, if you have your own chart in front of you, which I would always recommend whenever you're watching anyone speak on astrology, you can plug these planets in to your own chart and see where the area of life that they are affecting. Now, I already said the 12th house is the subconscious, and in this chart, because it's the universal chart, the natural chart, it's the collective subconscious. And that's where Neptune is sitting. Not only in that area, but in its own sign is Pisces is the collective unconscious, as well as the connection to the galaxy and the other realms and the other side. Okay, so we've got that going direct today. So we should start to see some forward momentum, a little smoother, a little easier, a little supportive of the things that we've been wanting to create for this year and into next year. Let's go and do a review of some of the other planetary positions and where they are. So we've got Pluto is another one. I'm going to do the outer planets first. Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus. Because those people tend to think they're only for the collective, but if they're touching your personal chart, it gets very, very personal. So we know that the Pluto is at 25 in Capricorn. That is approaching the Pluto return of the US chart. Now, I'm not going to get into that too much, except that Pluto has to do with complete rebuilding, dismantling, and restructuring. So breaking down things and then rebuilding them. So having that on the chart of the US would signify a lot of the things we're seeing going on in the world, in the US and the world, because the US affects the world at large. So that's another important planet to watch. It is direct. Actually, all the planets are direct except Uranus, which is going direct in January, later January, early February, I believe, in 2022. But so these are three important planets to watch. So we've got the Pluto return coming for the US, very important, and it only has 5 more degrees to get out of Capricorn, which is also around 2025. So these planets will be changing sign. That's another significant thing to watch. When a major planet, outer planet, changes sign, we know that as a collective, we're going to be going into that sign's energy, and the energy of that planet is going to help us to evolve and use that energy appropriately if we choose. And that's what astrology does. It shows us the energy, and then we get to choose whether we want to use it, ignore it, fight it, rebel against it, whatever we're going to do with it. But the energy's still there. So you can't, it behooves you to use the energy. Uranus is retrograde at 11 degrees Taurus. Now that is very significant because Uranus going through Taurus is the physical world, a physical manifestation, material goods. So what are we seeing with this Uranus retrograde? We're seeing shipping now, problems in shipping and getting goods to the people, because we're supposed to be changing the way we deal with the material world. Uranus is a forced change of direction and a forced change of values, being in the sign of Taurus, because Taurus represents our physical and worldly values. So having that planet go through that is going to change our individual and collective attitudes and values. And I'm seeing that, I saw that in my own life. I started last year, Uranus was in Taurus last year too, and what I did was had that big garage sale and got rid of a lot of things, and I'm going to have another one to get rid of a lot of things. So I'm changing my values, my physical material goods values, and letting go of the older energies in that area of my own life. And we will see that, and hopefully we would see that in December now, since we've had this shipping problem and we have some goods not getting to the stores. This would be a great time to make that personal shift of values and not shop as we usually do. Don't go looking for the same goods that you always buy every Christmas and the same old, same old, same old. Uranus is saying, no, I'd rather you not do that, because you're really avoiding your true heartfelt desires and natural values. So it's changing the values. So it's not like we're never going to shop. Of course, December is a big shopping month for many people. But having these issues and slowdowns in front of our face gives us a chance to step back and evaluate, well, maybe I don't need all this stuff that I would usually get for Christmas or for Hanukkah or for whatever holiday you celebrate in December. So it's the way that I look at things, when something's presented to us and there is a definite delay, a stop, a halt. It forces us to pause. And that's what this Uranus in Taurus is doing. Now, Uranus generally wants to move fast. Taurus tends to want to move slow. So it's interesting to have it in that sign because the pulse of the energy wants us to change direction as quickly as we can. Change direction in our values, what we shop for, what we buy, what we own, what we sell, the material world, material goods. But values, of course, values is a broader concept because we can let go of the value that we put on physical things and material goods. And that's what we're learning December 2021. We're learning to change our values and shift them from too much in the material world. And so, of course, this is going to stay retrograde through the holidays into the beginning of next year, first quarter next year. So we're going to be working on this issue and changing this from now till then, okay? So that takes care of the three bigger ones. Now, we've also got 2 planets are in Aquarius at the moment. Saturn just went in last year into Aquarius, so it's only at 8 degrees now. And Jupiter is coming to the end of Aquarius at 25 degrees, and it'll be going into Pisces shortly. These 2 planets move a little faster than the 3 previous ones. And then if you want to move into the faster moving planets, you have Venus, Mercury, and the Sun and Mars. These 4 move the fastest, right? So these are important to look at for your daily life, because if you have a Venus aspect in your day, for your day, that could be very pleasant, of course. Mercury aspects means there needs to be some communication. That's what that planet rules. And right now, the Sun and Mercury are conjunct, sitting close together within 2 degrees. So there's a lot of Sagittarius theme energy in the air also. Sagittarius energy is needing to travel. Of course, it's the holidays, so people are going to want to travel. So that's perfect timing. And then having them next to each other, there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of debate. Often you find in the sign of Sagittarius, you can find judgment over things and criticizing things that we don't like and analyzing things and trying to change a popular attitude. Sagittarius is also the sign of the salesman. So people, and it's also the sign of religion and beliefs. So you may see people trying to push their beliefs and their religion and things being pushed out because people need to be heard. They want to be heard. So there's a lot of Sag energy in the air right now too. So, and the travel is important too, because Sagittarius wants to travel. It has a need to travel and to be exposed to other cultures. So we might see a surge, although the coronavirus has slowed this down, but maybe people will be pushing to travel abroad and to change their countries and to move into other countries or just visit other countries. And even with the coronavirus slowdown and challenges in that, I think people are going to be driven to do that this holiday season even more. So this will be interesting to see how it plays out. I don't know. I'm not going anywhere, as far as I know, unless some surprise thing happens in my life. So I just really wanted to do a quick rundown of where the planets were, but specifically for the dreamers, the Pisces people, the Neptune-oriented people, this going direct right now is going to be a huge reprieve for us, because we'll feel more of the spiritual flow stronger, and then be able to manifest that in the physical world. So keep this in mind of where this planet is in your own chart, and try to plug these things into your chart, these planets and these energies, and see how the energies will be playing out for you in December and through the holidays. So I think that's enough on this today. I didn't want to go too far. I just wanted to bring this to our awareness, and hopefully this touched you and gave you some insight, some aha with the energies that you're working with, the planetary energies you're working with in your life and your chart. And again, if you like this stuff, if you liked anything on my YouTube channel, please feel free to like, subscribe. There's a PayPal button. If you really want to be supportive, that would be fabulous. And again, there is always more to come on The Medium by Design. Thank you for watching.